Birth Song. Song by Michael Jackson. What about sunrise? What about rain? What about all the things that you said we were to gain? What about killing fields? Is there a time? What about all the things that you said was yours and mine? Did you ever stop to notice all the blood we've shed before? Did you ever stop to notice this crying earth, these weeping shores? What have we done to the world? Look what we've done. What about all the peace that you pledged your only son? What about flowering fields? Is there a time? What about all the dreams that you said was yours and mine? Did you ever stop to notice all the children dead from war? Did you ever stop to notice this crying earth, these weeping shores? I used to dream. I used to glance beyond the stars. Now I don't know where we are, although I know we've drifted far. Hey, what about yesterday? What about us? What about the seas? What about us? The heavens are falling down. What about us? I can't even breathe. What about us? What about apathy? What about us? I need you. What about us? What about nature's worth? It's our planet's womb. What about us? What about animals? What about it? We've turned kingdoms to dust. What about us? What about elephants? What about us? Have we lost their trust? What about us? What about crying whales? What about us? We're ravaging the seas. What about us? What about forest trails burnt despite our pleas? What about us? What about the Holy Land? What about it? Torn apart by creed. What about us? What about the common man? What about us? Can't we set him free? What about us? What about children dying? What about us? Can't you hear them cry? What about us? Where did we go wrong? Someone tell me why. What about us? What about baby boy? What about it? What about the days? What about us? What about all their joy? What about us? What about the man? What about us? What about the crying man? What about us? What about Abraham? What about us? What about death again? Do we give a damn?